At the end of this video, you would have mastered step by step this Apple Liquid style glass effects using just your phone, and now you can add some sleek glass effects into your projects. Now, without wasting any more time, let's dive right into it.
From zero to clean lines, watch the magic happen. Pixels turn to profit, yeah, that's pure design alchemy. Late nights, bright screens, we don't.
Now, the first thing to do is to create your project file as always. To do that, go to open the light motion and click on this plus icon to create. Then you're going to select the size you want to use. For this one, I'm using 16 by 9, and you can name it. Alright, now the next thing to do is to create a simple shape. So I did it by clicking this plus icon here. Create a simple rounded rectangle with the radius 60. So I'll just pick one of these ones I've done here and show you the settings. So this is the settings, same size, but the curve radius is at 60. Now you take your time and go to download wherever you want to use. For this video, I'm using some of the tools I have used before as a designer that really works for me. Alright, so this is how it's going to be. Just click on the images, download them from, let's say, download them from Pinterest, and you'll be good to go. So once downloaded from Pinterest, click on it, go over to color as though you want to change the color, click on it, then go to media. Okay, I'll make a copy so I'll show you what I'm trying to say. So click on the image, go over to color and fill, then under color and fill, click on this media icon here, then you select the app icon of your choice. So let's say I select this one. Alright, click on it, and so you have this guy now. So your app duration could be like 4 seconds long, like this one. Now the next thing to do is to arrange them horizontally in different lines. Alright, so I'm just going to do that, and once I'm done arranging them, we'll get back to the video. Now the amount of shapes I have is just about this number, let's say 6 on each. I want to do something, I want to ensure that they are properly aligned, so I'm just going to click on each one in the row, and to align them properly on the X or horizontally, just click on this dot here, and it's going to space them evenly. So to space evenly is this one here. So I'm going to do that, and that's done. Then I'm going to group them out. I'm going to group them. To group them, you click on this first icon here. So I just group it. That's one group. Then I'll do the same thing for the previous ones, the ones below. Selecting all the logos, go over to space them evenly, then group them also. Now we have 2 groups. Now I'll just duplicate the groups. Alright, so I'll just duplicate this one. Bring it down like this, just so it's properly set, and I'll duplicate the middle one, the second one, and bring it down too. So I just bring this one down here somewhere like this. Now I want all of them to be properly aligned, so I'll just click all of them, go over here, up again. That's up here. Now align them vertically and horizontally. Okay, I think I'll just take a step back. Alright, so we have this done. Now the next step is to create a null layer. Alright, create a null layer. To create a null layer is very simple. So you need a null layer for all 4 groups. Alright, so I'll just quickly rename them. Set 1, so I just set the set 1. Then I'll rename the rest to set 2 and 3. Rename the rest to set 2. Then set 3 and set 4. Set 3 and set 4. Alright, I keep on mistakenly clicking into the group. Set 4. Okay, so now I'm just going to create individual null layer. So to create a null layer, a null layer is basically like an empty group that you can use to control other groups using the parenting feature. So I'll just click on this plus and I'll show you how. Click on the plus, go over to object and elements, then search for null. So I'll click on null and you see a layer. This ash layer is added, but there is nothing on our screen apart from this bounding box here. Alright, so I'm going to make a copy of that. Maybe let's see if it's going to rename it differently. Null 2, okay, perfect. So I'll just drag it to this place. So do it again, null 3 and null 4, null 3 and null 4. But I will need one more null, so I'll just add null 5. And I'll name this null 5 controller, general controller, gen controller, CNCRLR. I'll just use something like this. Done. So we'll parent each of the null to the individual layers. So I'll click on set 1. To parent it, just click up here and parent it to null 1, which is here. Do the same thing for null 2. Set 2 null 2. Set 3 null 3. Set 4 null 4. Alright, now we're going to see how this all works. So if I click on the null, if I want to animate, if I want to move this guy around, all I just need to do is not to move it manually. All I just need to do is to move the null. So if I just add an animation on this place to here and move null 1 like this, do you see? So I don't necessarily have to do it manually. It's going to move all of them together. Alright, so but that's not the angle I want it to be, so I'll reset the location and start again. So I want it to be somewhere like this. I want it to move to the right just a little. Alright, just a little, and I want it to come from the left a little more too. So let's say something like this. So it goes like this, and I'll do the same for the rest of them. But I'll just kind of make them go on different path. Alright, so I'll do something like this for this one. I want this guy to this is not what I want to do. I think I picked the wrong layer. So null 2, I think null 2 is selecting the wrong person though. Null 3, what about null 3? Let's see. Okay, null 3 is the one that's controlling this one. So I'll just click on it like this. I'll click on it like this. So I want this to be somewhere here at this point. And at the beginning I want it to be somewhere here. So let's see how it's going to look like. So this is good for now. So I'll just do the same for the rest. Alright, I'll just do the same for the rest. For null 2, click on the plus icon, go here, and at this point I want it to be somewhere like this. Though I don't want it to be as fast as the other guy. So just do a little here and a little like this. So you have something like this. Okay, we'll just work with this for now. And the last one, we're going to also animate him. Put a keyframe here, put another keyframe here, and let's make him go this way. Go this way. So we have this subtle motion going like this. Now the next thing I want to do, if you notice the edges, there are spaces here, so I don't want that. So that's where this general controller comes in. So I'll parent these null layers to all of them to the general controller, parent to null 1 to the general controller, parent null 2 to the general controller, parent null 3 to the general controller, and null 4 to the general controller. Now if I want to control all of them, I don't need to individually move them. I'll just use the general controller to control them. So for this, I want the general controller to help me scale their sizes. So we have something like this. Not just that, I also want him to help us offset it something like this. Okay, something like this is good. But then, alright, something like this is good. So we just work with something like this for now. If you are doing yours, you could add more layers to cover up for this blank space I have here. Alright, now I can also use this guy to push them up a little bit so it shows something like this. Alright, so this is good. Now I'm going to create the glass button. Now this is the sweetest part of the video. So first thing first, create your shape, a single curved rectangle shape. Make the length like this. Right, let's make it 350. Come on, and let's make it 150 or something like 120. They'll have a curve radius like this. Okay, now we just have something like this. This is cool. Now the next step is to click on this layer. I can rename it to be glass button. Done. So I'll click on effects, then search for glass effects. So just click on effects layer, search, type glass. So I'll click on this particular glass. Don't click on this omino glass. Click on this one here. So I'll click on it, go to standard setting. This is how it looks like. This is nice, but it's not giving me what I want. It's not giving me what I want here, so I'm going to adjust the parameters. So you want to adjust the radius. Let's see, adjust the radius. So I think for this we are going to leave the radius at something like, let's say something like 30. Let's leave something like 30. Something like 30, I'll just set it at 30 here. Then light source, can leave the light source angle, does not really change anything. Elevation, you can reduce the elevation just a little bit. Intensity, let's see, no, let's put the intensity backwards. Let's keep it, keep every other setting as they are. Let's see, refraction, just keep every other setting as they are. Okay, I'll keep this at 24, just like this. Now the next effect you're going to add is bevel smooth, or smooth bevel. So wait, hold on, let me still set some stuff here. I would need to set the refraction. I don't like the way it looks. I'll set the refraction to let's make it 31. Shine, let's see how the shine works. We'll keep the shine at 1. Specularity at 44. What they change this? These settings will change depending on your shape you get. So I'll just leave it like this, and every other is good like this. So now add the next effect, which is smooth bevel. So just search for smooth bevel. So see smooth bevel here. There are other pro versions like the one I have in my special app. So I'll just click on this for you. Everybody's going to have standard, and for this now we're going to just work on the radius. So I want it to bulge out a little bit, so that will be around 30. Diffuse, I'll take the diffuse up a little bit. Specular angle, let's see, I'll just keep it at, increase the diffuse intensity, and okay, reduce this one. Just play around with the settings so you have a glass effect that looks like what you want. Okay, so I'll just drop this diffuse angle. I think refraction from the other one, from the previous effect, is still very much, because I can see because I can see this guy reflected down here, which is not supposed to be so. So I'll just go back to this guy here, glass effects, try to set the refractor. Where is it? I'll try to reduce it. Let's see. Yes, try to reduce it something like this. I don't want the other. Let's see. So this already looks like the liquid glass, so you can just work with it like this. Now the next thing to do is to add a final effect for the glass, which is drop shadow. So I'll just click on this guy here, add effects, and add drop shadow. Search for drop shadow. Now I really love to see what you make out of this. Now for the drop shadow, I'm going to put the position to something like this. Let's see, I want it to be this way and down this way. So my setting is precisely 35 on y-axis and minus 18. So we can reduce the radius to, we can take the radius to 0.500. 0.500. Then alpha shadow, that's how bright the shadow is. So I'll just reduce it something simple, and I think that's all for now. Now we have this shape, very sleek. Now how about animating it? So animate it is very simple. Just go over to the edit shape option. You can either use just the scale animation to scale it from top to bottom, like from 0 to its current value, or you can do it on the X and Y axis. Alright, so I'm going to do something like this. Before I do this, I'm just going to add our text and write designer or designer. Let's write designer. I'll choose any font of my choice. I'm going to use Poppins and I'm going to make it white. Now I think we'll have to work on the glass effect so that it gives us a little bit of contrast inside here. Alright, so I'll just go over to the glass effect again and go over this one. I think light source under elevation, I think you can make it a little darker. Let's see. Try to look for how to make it darker so our text is going to have contrast. So it's typically not working yet. Let's check shine, material, refraction, shine. Let's see. Let's see. Okay, so the fill, we can add a little bit of fill. So for this one I'm going to do 20%, so it makes the original color, let's say this was red before, you would see, so it makes the original color kind of like pop through it. Okay, so for this one I'm going to use just, let's see, I'm looking for a color that would work, something like this, any color of your choice. So it makes it very unique. That I can increase the size of the text. Now I'm also going to like parent this text to the glass button so that any move and transform edit I do to it is going to affect it too. Now I'm going to just go to this layer, click on the plus icon, and what's the name, on 25 frames or 20 frames out, put a keyframe, or not on movements, I'll put a keyframe on the size, 20 frames, go that keyframe, then go back to the top, reduce it like this to 0. Alright, then we'll add a curve like this, and we can reduce the size, so it gives us something like this. So this is so nice already, very nice. So I'm going to increase the distance, and so I'll make it like 1 second, so it bounces slower. Yeah, okay, so we have this now. How about we wanted to animate the shape? So I'll do something like this here. At this point, I'll click a plus icon at this one here, then on the x-axis I'm going to make it exactly 122, 120. Hold on, I did not put the keyframe. Okay, I did. So it goes like this. So I'll just apply that same curve, similar curve I made there. Just like this, so it's just plays the same way. Alright, so we have this done now. Now the next step is, how do we make it look like liquid? Alright, how do we make it look like liquid? So now, to make it look like liquid, we need to convert this shape to the glass bottle. We'll convert it from a shape to a vector. So I'll just click on this 3 dot up here and convert to outline rather than vector. So convert it to outline. So this means it has curves now. Okay, I think before doing that, instead of doing that like that, we don't need to add. So I'll just go back a little bit and ignore this shape animation we made here, because if we press convert to outline, it's going to reduce it to convert it to outline at this point where it is 120, which is a perfect square. Alright, so we're going to just undo this now and convert it to perfect to an outline now. So click on the top icon here and convert to outline. So that you see we've converted it to outline. It does not start back to a circle. Alright, so now we have points. We have individual points in this design now. Instead of shape with corners, we have points now. Alright, now if you want to animate the points, it's very simple. Simply click on create a keyframe, like let's say here, create a keyframe. Now click up here to create a keyframe, to switch from points to keyframe. So create a keyframe here, we'll put a keyframe here, go to the next shape, go to the next shape. At this point, go to the next shape, which is now interested. Let me just tell you, I'm interested in doing the animation here first, then moving over to here. Alright, so along this path here, you would see the points. So as I click on one keyframe, the points are going to be changing as I move them. So I'll just show you again, pay close attention. So back here, so I'll go to where the keyframe starts. Alright, this are the points. So as you can see, as I'm on this point here, which is this one up here, there is a keyframe available. So I'll go over here. Alright, then if I want to switch to the next point, I just need to scroll here to switch to either of the points. So I'm going to show you how to do that now. So I'll scroll upward to the next point. I'll also put a keyframe there, so that's 15 frames. So I'll put a keyframe there. Then I'll scroll to the next point, which is this one. and I'll put another keyframe there. Alright, then I'll go back to the beginning again, to the first keyframe we had. Where is it? Looking for the keyframe. Okay, this is the first one we had. Then I'll go over to, let's say, 2 seconds, right? I'll just show you the beats now. I'll put a keyframe here. Yeah, I've done that. I'll switch to the next one. So the next one is upward. Put a keyframe there too. Switch to the next one. So make sure you're seeing it turn to green somewhere here. Alright, I'll put a keyframe here too. Alright, then we're going to go back to the first one again, which we are currently on. Is swipe to, let's say, just a little bit here. Let's make it shorter. Put a keyframe here. Go to the next one. Put a keyframe there. Go to the next one. Put a keyframe there. So I think there are 2 keyframes here. So I'll just add it here. Go here too. Okay, so now we have all the keyframes set for it. That we can. I'll just show you what it means. So I'll go over to the first keyframe now. I think this is the first, so I think we had 3. So go over to the first keyframe, which is, where are we? Alright, here. Alright, so I found the keyframe again. So I'll just go over here at this middle place here. I want to, now I can move the keyframes with my points here. So I want it to stretch out like this. So you can see there was more than one keyframe here. I noticed it, so I'll just do that again here. I think this is the second keyframe there. So I'll add a point for it. I'll also go to the beginning and add a point for it. So you have to pay attention to how many keyframes are on your point, so that I can freely move this guy like this now. So they're going to, can you see that? So it's very, very simple. You just need to know how to move those keyframes. So ensure that first of all you have all the points where you want it to move. You want everything to be properly, like everything is locked in before you start animating. Don't animate before you move it. You want to be able to get back to your start position. If you notice, this is the start position, this is the start position. It's only here I'm changing it. So we have something like this now. It pops off and it has this stuff. So I'm not done. So I want to go over to this next guy here, which is this one here. At this point, so I want it to kind of like maybe move somewhere like this. Oh no, just anything. Let's see. Alright, then you can come back to the one here. Then at this point, so this is what we have. So I'm going to do the same thing now. If you want to do the same for the other parts, you just need to mark the parts too and get them ready. So I'm going to quickly do that and get back to you.
Design Academy. Learn a craft, build a mind. The Graphic Alchemist. Skill is a new flex. Vismiles in the building. The Graphic Alchemist. Turn skill to gold. From zero to clean lines, watch the magic happen. Pixels turn a profit, yeah, that's pure design alchemy. Late nights, bright screens, we don't do the average.
Alright, so I have all the points animated, or at least I've created a point for them. So now at this point we can always break this guy down, go to the next one. Go to the next one. The last one. So after animating that, we have this now. There it goes like this. I'll come back. Alright, so that's basically how to create it. You could always create contrast by making the text maybe a different color, something visible. I think white is still the best. And yeah, there you have it. I'd love to see what you create with this effect. Yeah, it can be a little bit time consuming, but if you learn how to do this, you can always add this very sleek portion to your projects and have a great presentation for your clients. So with that, we've come to the end of this video, and I would love to see your work. If you're new to graphic design or motion design and you want to learn, I have a course. The link is in the description. And if you want to join the community where you can share your work, get corrections and feedback in real time, you can also join the group in the description. Thank you. See you in the next one.